let's get into this. I want to talk about Bitcoin. I want to start on a high time frame. I want to work our way down to a low time frame because we are currently at a very critical, a very crucial level of support. And I know these are buzzwords, crucial, critical, emergency, but the reality is, guys, we actually are at a very, very important place for Bitcoin. And I want to start on the monthly time frame and lay a foundation for us, paint a little picture about what is happening. And then what we're going to do is we are going to build a case for a bullish scenario and also a bearish scenario. And the goal here is to have a plan in advance so that regardless of what does happen with the price action, we are not caught off guard. So let's get into it. I'm going to start on the monthly time frame, y'all. Now on the monthly time frame, we have put in what is called a bearish divergence. And if anybody's new to technical analysis, the higher the time frame, the more powerful the signal, but the more volatility there can be in the price movement. And what I mean by that is this. We have a bearish divergence printing on the monthly time frame. A bearish divergence is when price is making a higher high, like we can see right here, yet momentum is making a lower high, like we can see right here. And this is the indicator market cipher B. And basically this is a very bearish sign. This is showing us that as the price is getting higher, momentum and money and interest is leaving the market, which means there needs to be a correction to the downside, because you can't have price getting higher if fewer people are interested in buying that product, right? That means there needs to be a correction. If you have a product, let's say you have a new amazing product that you are selling at a store, a retail product, right? What are the kids into nowadays? Going to the mall. You're selling something at the mall, and the price of your product, you keep pushing the price up higher and higher and higher. Eventually, people are going to lose interest in buying it at that high price. And so you're going to have to lower your prices for people to get interested in buying it again. So that's how you can think of this bearish divergence. And of course, from the time that we started printing this bearish divergence, we have come down to a very significant area. And this significant area is around the $39,000 level. Now, this is a very important area for a number of reasons, but the first reason is that it is this trend line that we have been respecting since October 2020. Now, October 2020 really marks what I would consider the beginning of this bull run, okay? This uptrend that we have been in since we were down there in October. We put in that initial impulse, we put in a high, we put in a higher low, we put in a higher high. Now, the reason why this is such an important support is because if we come below this area, we do run the risk of breaking very high term time frame market structure and putting in a lower high and losing this trend line that's been respected now since October 2020. Okay. Another reason why this is such an important area of support is because if we analyze the volume that has been traded during the past, I don't know, let's say about a year, okay, the last year or so, we're just going to look at the volume that was traded. We can see that we are coming to this area where Bitcoin is now going to be losing the support of not only the trend line, but also the value area. Now, a value area is when you're analyzing volume that was traded over a given period of time. And there's an indicator over here called fixed range volume profile. And this fixed range volume profile is going to show you at what price was the most Bitcoin exchanged at. So since the beginning of 2021, we can see that Bitcoin has pretty much been trading sideways here, coming from the low to the high, to the low to the high, and now heading back down toward the low. And something that's very important is if we lose and hold below this value area, it shows that people no longer want to trade Bitcoin in what used to be considered a fair value. So when you use this indicator, you're going to see these shaded candles, and this is going to identify a fair value for the price of Bitcoin, right? Supply and demand, a fair value. And if price comes above that fair value, like it did right here, we're going to come back down inside the fair value. And if price comes below the fair value, like it did right here, it's going to come back inside that fair value. And again, it comes above the fair value, comes back inside. And so if we lose and start to close and hold below this fair value, it's a little bit different than it was last time, because last time that happened in the summer, there were a few different things here. First of all, we had this trend line, which had not officially been formed yet. We didn't know about it. But we can also see that we had other very, very important supports right here, okay? Now, because this trend line has been established, and by the way, this value area had not been established back then either. Now that this value area has been established and this trend line has been established, if we do lose this level, it's going to be a very fast move to the downside. And I'm going to get into more of targets later, but the two main massive targets that I would have if we get a move to the downside is going to be, number one, the golden pocket from the Roni Baloney dump to the all-time high. We can see that if we lose this important support here around 39,000, the next major zone of support, okay, we have supports along the way down, but the next major zone of support is going to be that golden pocket. Okay, it's going to be that golden pocket. Now, I want to start off by talking about a bullish case, okay, a bullish scenario. I am on a very high time frame leaning more bearish, in an intermediate time frame leaning bullish, and a very local time frame neutral. And right now, you know, we've been trading Bitcoin in the Discord. Oh, by the way, this is the Luna short that we were in last week during the VIP altcoin technical analysis session. We came up with this trade setup way back here. We said, yes, probably we're going to come down here, retest the resistance, come up to this area for a drop. And of course, we are getting that drop right now on Luna. So shout out to everyone who took this short with me in the VIP Discord. By the way, if you do want to get into the VIP Discord where we post trade setups, technical analysis updates, we have a thriving community of traders in here. You can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. We've been scalping Bitcoin in here and Ethereum. And man, we got some good Ethereum trades. Like, for example, this one over here, where we shorted Bitcoin, we shorted Ethereum. We got two of them. This first one right here from the golden pocket, and then we came up for the second one up here. And that second one, guys, is actually up in some pretty juicy profits right now. The one from about 33.92. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so this is the beginning of it, and I haven't posted an update on it, but it's up over 100% in profits right now. And yeah, so I'm posting TA in here. We have a thriving community of traders posting good technical analysis in here. It's a great place to learn. It's a really great place to learn, guys. If you're newer to this, check it out, patreon.com/Jason Casper. And yeah, so I want to talk about why I lean bullish now. If we go to the daily time, well, first of all, let's start in the weekly time frame. Market Cipher B on the weekly time frame is starting to curve up. VWAP starting to curve up. Momentum wave starting to clip up. And we can just kind of see over time now, even on the weekly time frame, that as the price has been getting lower, the VWAP here has been getting higher. Now, this is a bullish divergence with the VWAP on the weekly time frame. And every single time we get a green dot on the weekly time frame below that zero line, we get a significant move to the upside, okay? Back here, it doesn't look like much because we're not on log scale, but we got that green dot, and we ended up getting a 45% move to the upside. Then a few weeks later, a few months later, we print another green dot below the zero line, and we got ourselves another 50% move to the upside. Now, I want to show you that when we got this green dot down here, we were in a downtrend, right? This was a very, I don't know if you guys remember, but if we go back and we look at the chart there, it's so hard to remember these times, but look at the downtrend that we were in at that time when we got this green dot, okay? We were in a very massive downtrend from the high to a low, and then when we printed that green dot, boom, we get that 45% move to the upside. before another move to the downside, where we do get another green dot, and then we get another move to the upside, before we get another move to the downside, and then we get another green dot. And this is pretty much the Corona dump in which we start the bull market. So my point here is that it's probable, very probable, that as the weekly time frame starts to confirm bullish, that we are at least going to get some kind of relief rally here. And we have been in this downtrend for a very long time. Funding on exchanges has switched to favoring longs, which, what the heck just happened here? What that means is, if you're holding a long right now on Bybit, you're literally getting paid just to hold that long, and people who are in shorts are paying the funding fee. And so there are shorts that need to get punished, right? Just like there were longs that need to get punished when we were up here in this euphoria, now there's shorts that need to get punished. And this is a great place to start to have some kind of relief rally. If we go to the daily time frame, what do we see? We see bullish divergences right here on Market Cipher B. Okay, we can see price is making lower lows, momentum is making higher lows. And yes, the VWAP is curving over on the daily time frame on Market Cipher B, but this means that potentially we could get an anchor wave and a trigger wave right here on the daily time frame. And even if price does come down and makes a lower low, that would give us a very bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Okay, it will give us a very bullish divergence on the daily time frame. And so for these reasons, I think that we could be poised for a move to the upside. And as long as we don't start closing daily candles below 39K, I am still going to kind of lean bullish on the intermediate term. Okay, if we start to lose this crucial support right here between, I would say, 39 and 37,000, then I'm looking toward lower supports that we have in this general zone, and of course down here to the golden pocket from the beer bug dump to the all-time high. And you know, it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting to see what is happening right here, because if these bullish divergences do play out, I think that we can get a move to the upside that will catch a lot of people off guard. And one of my main targets for that, depending on where we come down to, is going to be around this high volume node up here at about 57,000. If we take a golden pocket from the all-time high to our current price, we can see it's coming in right around that area. If we do put in a lower low, let's just say we put in a lower low here, you know, coming down, if you know, because as I was saying, you know, I'm looking at this entire section as a zone, where within this zone there's many levels of support that I'm looking at to potentially get the bounce from, right? If we are going to get a bounce. And so if we do come down into here, then the golden pocket would be perfectly lined up with this this high volume node. Now another area that I would definitely be looking at as a resistance would be, you know, if we take the volume from the summer to our current day, and we can see that we have a very high volume node around this 47,000 level. So if we are going to get the move to the upside from here, then I would be looking to do something like this, where you know, this is not a trade signal. This is just showing you guys a rough plan of what I would be looking to happen here, where, you know, as long as we're not closing candles below the zone on the daily time frame, then we'd be looking to TP1 right around here and final target up there. And so there's a lot of other reasons why, you know, on the medium term time frames, I think we could get some kind of a relief rally right here. Okay, if we turn on some other indicators, like your good old stochastic RSI, this is an indicator I use from time to time. We can see here that the stochastic RSI is down very low at about 1.64. I'm just going to draw a little line right here, the 1.64, and that orange line right there. Notice that whenever we come down that low to the 1.64, we typically do get a move to the upside. We typically do get a move to the upside. I'm sorry, this is the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, when the stochastic RSI comes down to this orange line, this has historically marked a very significant bottom, right? This marked the bottom of this previous area of consolidation here, boom. And again, we find ourselves there again. And notice something, in the past here, the stochastic RSI formed a double bottom on that level. And again, the stochastic RSI has formed a double bottom on this level at key support. So for these reasons, although when we look at the higher time frame, the monthly time frame, things are looking bearish where we could expect potentially more movement to the downside. When we look at these medium time frames, the weekly and the daily, we could see, hey, there is room here for a significant move to the upside, right? There's room here for a significant move to the upside. If we go down to the 4 hour, you know, we can see bullish divergences slightly also on the stochastic RSI. But market cipher, definitely on the 4 hour time frame here, market cipher, I feel is looking quite bullish in the sense that, yes, we have this momentum wave coming down, but look at the money flow. If I just turn off the money flow, turn off everything on market cipher B except the money flow. And by the way, if somebody doesn't have market cipher, you want to get it, it's the best indicator you can use in TradingView. You can go to marketciphertrading.com. I do have an affiliate link in the description if you're interested, but I don't think I have a discount. So BitBoy might have a discount though. If you're trying to get a discount on it, it's a really good indicator. Look at the money flow on the 4 hour time frame right here, guys. Look at the money flow as we are consolidating here. This is looking very, very bullish. Money flow is a very bullish indicator in general. I remember the last short position that I took that we did post here in the VIP Discord. If we go to potential Bitcoin scalps over here in the Discord, the last short that we took here was from, well, we take a lot of trades in here. This was a while ago now. So we're longing and shorting. So the short before that long, this is so long ago now, guys. Yeah, here we go. The last short, well, that's not true. I'm in a short right now. I'm in a short on Bitcoin right now that we just took recently, but this short right here is up like 800% in profits. And we shorted it from basically this this confluence that we had with the trend line and the golden pocket. And the main, that was from 47,430. So let's mark that out real quick. 47,430 was right here. Right here. So we shorted it from this wick right here. And the way we were able to get into that trade was literally just based on money flow on the 6 minute time frame. Let's take a look. If we go down to the 6 minute time frame and we go back in time to that place, see if we can even find it now. Where is that? Where is that place? Oh, place. Where are you at? Where are you at, place? Aha, here's the place. Look at the money flow on the 6 minute time frame. Money flow on Market Cipher is one of those indicators that really can give you a heads up of what is going to happen if you're at a key level, right? Especially if you're at a key level. We see the price getting higher and higher and higher as we see the money flow getting lower and lower and lower, okay? And then that's how we shorted it right from that high, boom, coming down. The trade is in massive profit, still open, still going to hold all my shorts because here's the thing. I hold a lot of Bitcoin on spot, so I'm not in a rush to close out my shorts. And actually right now, guys, Bitcoin is getting a bounce from a very important level that we were looking at yesterday to scalp from. In fact, if we just take a look at this here, boom, we had this golden pocket that we were looking to take a scalp from yesterday, and we did get a pretty significant move from that golden pocket. Still, we can see the money flow is coming up here, but I digress. I'm talking about the 4 hour time frame, and I'm talking about money flow coming up as we consolidate on this level. So here are some bullish scenarios I'm potentially looking for. Bullish scenario number one is that we come and we put in a higher low. Okay, we come and we put in a higher low. Now we can just look here at the charts and see that we have a very, very clear support. Just using our eyes, we have a very clear support around 41,000. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make this a support line right here at about 41,000. And we're going to call this support line support. All right. Scenario number one for me is that we come down and get another tap of that that horizontal level that we tested 1, 2, 3 times, and that would be a higher low on macro market structure, right? Even on the daily time frame, we go to the daily time frame, we can see we put in our low, we put in our high, and we can put a higher low on this key support before a move to the upside, which would be a very nice looking W, right? Because we came down, we put in a low, and then we put in our first high, and then we put in a higher low, and combined with money flow coming up on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. Okay, and then the second scenario for me is, and we could put a higher low in anywhere, but this is just one level I'm looking at. The other levels I've posted in the VIP Discord. The second scenario is that we put in a lower low with a bullish divergence, and then we really get a move to the upside from there. So if we turn back on our waves and our VWAP here on Market Cipher B, keeping in mind the fact that money flow is coming up, right? Even if we come down and put in a wave like this, and we come down and get a lower low, that's still a bullish divergence on the 4-hour time frame, because momentum and money flow is coming up as price is getting lower. So those are the two major bullish scenarios that I really see for this. And if we start to, like I said, close candles on the daily below this very important zone of support that we have, then I am going to be looking for lower. So, by the way, if you do want to learn how to trade the way I do, you can check out jasoncaspertrading.com. This course will give you the knowledge and the skills you need to become a confident, profitable trader. We're constantly updating this with content and new course materials. And basically, the reason why this is such a powerful course, and this has helped so many people, I have talked to many people, interviewed them live on my channel, as well as talked to them in DMs. This has changed the way they trade. I talk to people who have been able to quit their job to trade full time, because what it does is it systematizes your trading so that you have a plan of when to enter, when to exit, when to take profit, so that you're not flopping and groping, as CryptoFace says. And there's currently a 20% discount in the description of the video. You could check that out. There's a discount code there. But yeah, this will give you a complete system. Even if you've never looked at a chart before, all the TA that you would need to know in order to get started, how I use Market Cipher to enter and exit trades, 5 trading strategies that I use and many people use, as well as mindset and risk management so that you don't blow your account. Very, very important. Check it out if you're interested. So that is kind of what I am looking at with Bitcoin right now. And again, we do need to be aware of the fact that if we turn all this stuff off, we are currently consolidating again at very crucial support. Okay, we can just see even with our eyes here, and I'm gonna answer some questions in the chat, but we can just clearly see that we are at a crucial support. Even if we didn't know any technical analysis at all, we are at this key box of support. And in addition to that, if we take the trend line from the high and connect it here and extend it to the right, well, I'm not going to do that because it'll slop up the chart, but we could take the trend line like this, and we could take another trend line from here and drag it down like this. We can see that we are consolidating in what is known as a falling wedge pattern. This is a bullish pattern right here. And so again, when we're consolidating in a bullish pattern, when we see Market Cipher B giving us bullish signals, when we see that we are coming to crucial support, it would be irresponsible, at least in my mind, and this is not financial advice, guys. You should never take financial advice from a guy on the internet who is known to wear Pikachu hats. I mean, if we take a look at the thumbnail that I just made here, guys, look at me, right? Why would you take financial advice from this guy? Upside down glasses, Pikachu hat, open mouth thumbnail. Definitely not a financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. Definitely not even close to that. Okay? Definitely not even a cool guy. No friends, wasn't popular in high school, right? Really bad with the ladies, can't get a girlfriend, right? Because every time I try and talk to girls, I get so nervous, I start to cough and I make this weird noise like, and then they're like, ugh, get away from me, you animal. Okay, not financial advice at all. In fact, this is pure entertainment. Every single trade I take on here is paper trading, and I recommend you do the same because trading is so risky, you will lose everything. You will lose everything, okay? So anyway, for my paper trading plan, we're consolidating the bullish pattern with bullish signals on market cipher. Now, what if we lose this, right? What if we just come down like this? Then what? I'll tell you what. As I said in the beginning of the stream, then I'm really looking toward the obviously there's other areas in here, but the major area would be this golden pocket. And if we lose the golden pocket, we could just look with our eyes and see we have some consolidation right here, and we have some consolidation right here. So we could really be looking down if this downtrend continues, which we are in a very clear downtrend. We could be looking down to 20,000, which is major support, right? Around that $20,000 Bitcoin is major support, the previous all-time high. We might come down for a retest of that previous all-time high, which, guys, you know, it's not the most bearish thing in the world. It definitely sucks for anybody who bought into Bitcoin under over 20,000, right? Because you know, thankfully I got into Bitcoin when it was only a couple $100, and now it's, you know, 42,600, right? So, but yeah, these are just some levels to be aware of, guys. These are just some levels to be aware of. I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah. So if we zoom in a little bit more locally here for the Bitcoin, so we're dealing with very high time frames, and if anyone's new to this, when you're dealing with high time frames, you should never FOMO into any kind of trade or investment. However, when we're dealing with high time frames, we can be very relaxed and very slow about making our decisions, because it takes a long time for these things to play out. It takes a long time for these levels to be reached. And even if we are going to come down to that golden pocket, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, but that golden pocket is another trend line that we've been respecting all the way from March 2020. So that golden pocket, we do find some intersectionality there with you know, with the that trend line. So, and yeah, just something to be aware of. Okay, just something to be aware of. Yeah, so if we zoom in a little bit more locally here, I'm going to turn off these trend lines. I'm going to turn them off. And turn off this rectangle. And I'll even turn off the wedge, right? I'll turn off the wedge. Let's go down to, maybe we'll start with a 4-hour here. And on the 4-hour time frame, a few things to take note of, which is number one. Well, I had also been looking at this, and here, let me actually open up a different Bitcoin chart for us here. Open up a different Bitcoin chart here, and okay, so we have these levels: eat the bugs, own nothing, and be happy. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Better get rid of those before I get my channel banned. And also, if we do go to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we had this this potential bump and run pattern. Okay, we had this potential bump and run pattern. And this bump and run pattern was where we had the trend line that we had been respecting from up here, bumped into it a few times, curved bottom, and then a breakout here. And we did actually get a perfect retest of this trend line. It was even more perfect on a different chart when I had drawn this trend line a little bit differently. But yeah, so we did absolutely long that because of the confluence from this area. And so it's very interesting and also encouraging to see that we did get this kind of a pattern here. But if we do continue to the upside now locally, the next major area of resistance is just going to be all this consolidation in here. So if we just look at the volume, actually, let me just turn on a VPVR indicator right now. Let's turn on a visible range. indicator, we can see right here we have a very, very high volume node around 47. And so that's kind of, where I'm looking at. We also need to be aware that around, 45, we have this low volume node. So locally right now, if we're going to see more upside, I want to see us come above 45. And then I want to see us, 47 is definitely an area that we need to be aware of. And if we can come above 47, I think we can get some more movement to the upside. So that's pretty much it for the Bitcoin right here. We could see, that although there was intersectionality here, this white line is a little bit fragile. Okay, there is some WF around here, and so we just need to be aware that we could fall below that line.